Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. We are back for Sistas Season 7, Episode 2, Drunk in Love. Can y'all believe we really on Season 7? Like, my goodness, we've had so many ups and downs with this show. I wasn't even looking forward to this week's episode because last week, what was that? I still don't know what that was, but it don't matter because this week the writer's doing something. I said, okay, I gave y'all hell last week, but this week I think we might be cooking with grease. We might be setting something up, okay? I'm liking the storylines. I'm appreciating this week. Let me know if y'all liked this week's episode and where you think this can go. Because at the end, I'm like, okay, finally, we got something going with Gary. Finally, I'm not minding Hayden. Finally, because we needed a break. Now, if you're new here and you enjoy this content, check out my other videos. Be sure to subscribe because it's always a growing channel. I love and appreciate y'all support. Like, y'all are my YouTube family, okay? I need y'all. So hit the subscribe button, watch the video, watch the other videos, check out, do all the things, okay? Thank you. So we pick up with Gary finishing off in Andy's bathroom with her panties in his hand, with his forever fiance standing there, child. Ooh wee. I forgot there was a huge picture of Andy on the wall. I thought that was in her closet. I didn't realize that was the bathroom. I don't know what's going on. Was he in the bathroom or was he just was he in the closet looking for her picture so he can, pleasure himself to it? The whole thing was weird. Girl, Andy, we glad he did what he did. You wasn't gonna leave, so he had to be removed and snatched about your life, okay? Honey, you dodged you one. Okay. Now Penelope is pissed. Gary comes out because she's telling Andy, like, look, we about to go. We got to leave. I don't feel good. And I don't feel good about the fact that she's still 7 months pregnant 3 months later. But I'm going to leave it alone. It's upsetting me and my homegirls. Okay. Gary makes it all awkward, especially with Jordan. The whole thing is just weird. It's no way. Like, this is like the most unbelievable storyline. Like, because in real life, be for real. Be very for real. So they leave, and Andy and New Jordan, with his bad acting, they flirting with no on-screen chemistry. The first, okay. In the elevator, Penelope is mad at herself and Gary. She mad at Gary. I mean, the list could go on. She mad at herself for giving him another chance. But Gary called her. He knew she was weak and she would take him back. And even after the way he's acting right now, she probably still won't leave. And all you doing is teaching the man that no matter what he do to you, you are going to be sitting right there, stuck on stupid, okay? But Gary is like, he grabbing her arm and cussing at her. And all I could think about was when he was, shaking Andy's ribs. And I don't like that. He said that she act like, because he like, oh, you ain't giving it up. You ain't giving me none. So it's your fault. Blaming it on her. I said, ooh, true narcissistic textbook. And he was like, you act like you're the first woman to ever get pregnant. Talking about, I got a headache. I'm tired. Well, you would know. I mean, because you went through it before when your wife was pregnant with your other kids and possibly other kids that we don't know about, but that's neither here nor there. He abandoned those children. And this one don't stand a chance, child. Ooh wee. Moving on, we see over at Danny, Sabrina's playing therapist. I'm really already over the storyline. Next, Gary comes over to Hayden's. This is the same night. And he said he need a place to stay. And Hayden looking like, I don't want you here. And later on, we find out why. For good reason. And I don't let nobody come over unannounced. I don't let my mama come over unannounced. Do not just show up. Okay, you got to call, text. You got to beat me, honey. You can't just show up and just think you want to stay. No, he throwing it in his face. That's why I don't like when people do stuff for you to try to use it later. He's talking about, I'm the one that hired the PI and found out that old girl was using you. Like, didn't nobody tell you to do that? And he was happy before you told him this. Now he's sitting there lonely drinking. But they have a drink because Gary's talking about have a drink with me, even though it's like you don't got the good stuff. Like, you complaining about my liquor and then want me to drink with you? I guess. But they have a drink. Gary admits that he got Penelope a shut up ring. He has no plans or intentions of marrying her. I think that is like the worst kind of man. Or like, don't propose to somebody just to string them along. Why are you talking about, I did it to buy some more time? Like, that's like the wackest, lamest ish ever. Like, if you don't want to marry her, then just don't even propose. Wasting her time. Gary suggests that he and Hayden, they go after Jordan, try to ruin his life. And Hayden was like, no. And he was like, really? I mean, you've done it with other people. Yeah, people that he had issues with. When it comes to you and your issues, I don't think so. He said, listen, if he ain't stole my money or slept with my woman, count me out. I said, Gary is not your friend. The way, not Gary's not your friend. Hayden is not your friend. The way Gary was looking at Hayden, I said, ooh, Hayden's days are numbered, honey. You already know how Gary get down. Hayden, you might be next on his hit list. So Zach is cooking breakfast for Fatima before work. And I'm like, can we get one Saturday? Can we just get one day where everybody just off? Okay. So Zach wants to start a trust fund for the 2 children that he don't know are his. And yes, I said 2 because y'all know I don't believe Michael is his, but whatever. Hayden talks to Andy in the break room. Surprisingly, Hayden is running his loose lips, he's spilling the tea. The tea is hot. So he's telling Andy that Gary was talking trash about Penelope last night, and he stayed at his house and was talking about playing women, and he just like, look, I just want Gary out of here. Like, I want to get him out of my house. He went to me like we besties, and Andy was like, I thought y'all were BFFs. Like, what happened? Andy was like, please, I don't even know what he do for a living. And Andy was like, he runs the hedge fund. And he was like, nah, I think he doing more than that. I think it's more than that. Because you ain't that filthy rich off of that. Okay? It ain't no way. And Andy just is naive as always. He said he always scheming and plotting. There's something about him. Yeah, it is. And I don't even know how he got the time. How can you juggle all those relationships and have time to scheme and plot and work? Oh, I know. Because he don't spend time with his children, so that carves out some of the time in his day. I get it. I see what y'all doing there. So Fatima walks in and she's like, oh, is he bothering you? Ruining it. He was just about to really dig into it, get like we was getting to the middle of the cup of tea. Okay, and then here she come messing it up. Andy like, why don't y'all just squash this beef? It's old. And I wish they would. And they look at each other like, nah, never, ever gonna happen. Well, there's that. So over at Karen's salon, Pam is flirting with the delivery man. I'm tired of Pam flirting with men and they don't flirt back. They don't flirt back. Not me twisting up my words. Anyway, Pam deserves to flirt with somebody and they flirt back. Like Pam flirt with somebody, Karen walk up, don't say a word, and they start flirting with her. And she big and pregnant now, and I'm supposed. Okay, anyway. So he's flirting with Karen. So I hope I see you again. Take my car. And I'm like, all these women walk around Atlanta and y'all keep chasing after this woman who I don't even know how she says she's 4 months, but it's looking, I don't know, the belly shape is weird. I don't know how many months she look like she is, but yeah. So Karen ends up calling Sabrina and she tells her she needs a personal loan because the money for her business loan has run out. Okay. And Sabrina was like, well, I did help a newlywed couple earlier. And it's like, girl, okay, and like, why do you think I want to hear that? I just said, honey, I'm struggling financially. And you talking about some newlywed couple, like I'm supposed to care. So Karen was like, okay, well, I don't have that luxury. It's just me and my baby. I'm about to be a single mom. And unfortunately, Karen, sweetheart, it don't get no easier when that baby comes. It's just going to get harder. Okay. But Sabrina drifts off and then she asks Karen, like, have you ever thought about marriage and a family? Like, do you want that? Like that white picket fence, that, that happy ending. And I think a lot of people do for the most part. I really think they do. I still want it with all the things I've been through, Lord knows. But Karen was like, I ain't thinking about that right now. Like, if it happens, fine. But honey, I'm pregnant with somebody else's baby, girl. Give me a break. So afterwards, Sabrina's boss, mind you, Sabrina used to be the boss, but she's been demoted. I ain't like that Tyler did that. That was wild. Okay, give that lady her job back. So now this clear woman storms in talking about, Sabrina, I can hear you all the way out there. No personal phone calls on the job. I can't work nowhere where I can't get on my phone ever again. Like I just can't do it. I can't do it. I see work drama will be in Sabrina's future. So Zach and Fatima meet with divorce lawyer Andy, and they discuss the custody case. Standing up, they don't even sit down. This ain't even Zach got put his suit on, his Sunday's best for nothing. They ain't even sitting down. It's not even formal. He really could have just wore a t-shirt. But they start discussing the custody case, and Andy was like, in the date, and they're like, what you talking about? And she's like, the wedding date. And Fatima like, girl, shut up. And she like, listen, it will help Michael's case if he has a stable 2-parent household. So meet him at the altar down in your white dress. And Fatima looking like, exactly, like, I'm waiting on me. I've been ready to plan a date before I found out about these kids. And Fatima like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get out of this? Girl, don't do it, girl. Ooh, he ain't been working or doing nothing lately. If that money run out, they going to come after you for them child support checks. Is she trying to be a lawyer too? Girl, please, couldn't be me. He would have been my forever fiance, like over there with Gary and them. Anyway, at the airport, Tony about to risk him and Danny's job doing inappropriate things out in the open, but it's like hiding in plain sight. He going under the desk. I need some copy and paper and getting down low. And I'm like, y'all get a man don't know how to act. I ain't risking my job doing that type of stuff. I'm just not doing it. Okay. She's still upset about last night when he had Sabrina coming over unannounced, playing therapist. I do like Tony with her though. It seems like she's met her match. Like he's the only one that can really get her in her place, and she listened too. So Sabrina comes over to Murray's place unannounced, and I said, "What if y'all got to figure out what y'all gonna do with Murray's character? He met a man, gave him his number, and we never heard about the man again. What happened with that? Because this OnlyFans thing, what is this? I don't really like it. I liked it better when Maurice was at the bank. She's looking for an ugly dress that she left behind at his house because the sisters are going to brunch. He said, honey, I already stretched that thing out for my bootleg OnlyFans and threw that trash away. He doing what he normally do. They having their usual banter. And then he like, he said, that sure is a wrinkled skirt, bitch. And it was wrinkled. It was wrinkled. I'm like, do irons no longer exist? Okay. So at brunch, Fatima's there, and I was like, now why is she sitting in Karen's seat? I'm really surprised she's there. Karen walked in, they didn't even see her. So they laughing, chuckling about the D and Andy being a nympho. And Karen just quietly leaves. I can see the divide happening. Karen's not gonna have nothing in common with them because she's gonna be a mom. They don't know nothing about it, and Fatima easing her way in. Whew. So they convinced Danny, more so Fatima convinces Danny to go to therapy because she's like, I go. Because Danny was like, I don't want to be laying on some dirty couch talking to some clear man about my problems. And I'm like, girl, what century are you living in? Therapy has evolved so much, and you have to, it's not a secret. Like everybody knows it now, even if you've never been to therapy. Like it's like a well-known fact at this point. If you have a phone, internet, go outside, open your eyes, and you know it. So Fatima was like, I see somebody, her name is Carisha, and she's Black. And I'm like, not Carisha. Girl, please. She's like, she's a Black woman. She's cool. She's like, she is out the way, but she does virtual. So Danny said she gonna go and take her contact information. Fatima was sharing that because Sabrina was asking again, like, do y'all want to get married? I guess it's on her mind. Like, listen, I ain't getting no younger, and I want to, tap into my next phase in life now that I finally got my man. Fatima was like, I want 2 children of my own, but I got to deal with these kids that aren't mine first. So Danny was like, oh, well, whose kids are they? And they was like, which one are you talking about? And she was like, I'm talking about Karen's. Stop, check little Michael again. Check him first, because he already here, and I need y'all to go down to the courthouse and get it done by a professional. And you might want to go to a courthouse in a whole nother state. That way ain't no funny business going on. But Danny was like, no, I don't think so. I don't think it is. She was like, yeah, he's talking about setting up a trust. And Danny was like, I don't know. No. Everybody's like, huh, not when you don't know. I don't think so. Woo. Karen, everybody know. Everybody know that that's probably not. Well, everybody but Zach, apparently. We'll get there. So Danny comes home. I'm guessing Tony lived there because he's just chilling on the couch watching the game. He real comfy, ain't he? Like, she good for picking up a man who's homeless. Like, where were they living at before you got with them? And why are they suddenly moved into your place? So she mentions brunch, and she's like, we talking about everything. We talking about, we talking about this, that, and we talking about kids. And he's like, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to know nothing else. Never mind. She shares that she decided she's going to try therapy, just at least one session. Girl, you just go to one session, you're going to be like, never mind, this is a waste. Do it a couple times and then decide what you want to do. Sabrina also comes home drunk. And she asks Rich, because she's like, ooh, like, how many kids do you want? And he's like, I don't want kids. And she's like, you don't? And he's like, I've never had a desire to have kids. And I'm like, everybody doesn't want kids. Like, she's acting like, what? I can't believe. And she's like, so you just wanted to be just you and your wife? And he was like, I already been divorced. I don't want to get married again. And she's like, a dog? And he's like, I like cats. And I said, for heaven's sake, have y'all met before? These are questions people ask on a first date. I would have known this by the first date. I probably would have asked this before we even went on the date. Why am I even wasting my time getting to know you? And you don't want anything that I want? These are basic, like, bare minimum questions. I've asked this on a date with guys. I realized on the date, like, I don't even like you like that. But since we here eating, I'm just curious. I mean, listen. Now, that was in my younger years. I don't waste time going out to eat with people now just to eat. I don't do that. But I ask these important questions before I decide if I even want to go out with you. Because if we don't want the same things, what are we going out for? I can get my own food. Sabrina, girl, I don't know. Because she's acting like, oh, what? He said when they was going out with old Jordan, when they was catching the bus late night, that he didn't want to get married. And they was like, yeah, divorce crew. We never want to get married again. We're the divorced men in Atlanta. We never want to walk down the aisle ever again. He said this before. Girl, he wasn't listening. So she like, oh, I want your sperm. And he was like, what? And then he quietly crept up out of there. He said he don't want no children. Like, just break up with him. I bet you if you was with Calvin, he would have been happy to have your baby. So then Andy goes home. Jordan is there cooking and cleaning because I guess he don't have a home either. And so she's like telling her about the stuff with him running for mayor, and he needs her to come and be and get herself together because he got PR stuff to do. And she ain't listening because all she cares about is one thing and one thing only, and that's what's in his pants. And I'm like, I hate the direction of her storyline. Like, where are we going with this? New Jordan already can't, because then y'all gonna have to replace him again because we don't really like this version of Jordan. So then y'all had to find another one. And the storyline's whack. Like, come on. So Fatima goes home. She's the only one. She's like, I feel good. Like, I'm a little tipsy. I ain't drunk. So she's talking to Zach, and she's like, look, because he was like, oh, what's wrong? And she's like, you need to get that baby tested, because he's talking about Zach Jr. and all that stuff. And he's like, Fatima, this is my baby. And I'm like, what? How do you know that? And she's like, no, you need to get tested. And he was like, no, you need to accept that this is my baby. And she's like, you a dummy. You dumb to dumb. And girl, you dumb for staying, but okay. Whatever, you in too deep now. Because y'all gonna be going and fighting for custody again. Girl, don't you marry him if you don't do nothing else. So we gonna see. But the preview for next week, him getting Karen flowers for her salon opening. I said, oh, we still going down this dark road, y'all. Y'all told me that in Fatima's pregnant. So it's like, when are we gonna make her pregnant over here? I need this stuff to start lining up so it makes sense for me. But anyway, How do y'all feel about this episode overall? Drop down in the comments. Let's chat about it. Check out everything else I got going on. Check out my community tab so you know what's happening next. Turn on the notifications, all that. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.